I just finished recording my review for the Wheel of Time. No, my review for the Eye of the World. And I just want to do a little reading update. Hang on. I gotta get it in my Kobo. I'm 46% of the way into The Great Hunt. And I just want it on the record that I don't trust Celine one single bit. She is so suspicious in my books. I don't trust her at all. I think that she orchestrated her rescue. I think that she's the evil lady from the Trollocs prophecy type thing in Faldara. I think that it's about Celine. I don't trust her. And if she ends up being a villain, then I'll have called it. I'm so curious to see about Nynaeve and Egwene in the White Tower. I really want to get more into their Aes Sedai training. I'm very excited about that. But that's all. I'm going to go for now, and I will see you all later. I just got home from work and I was reading on and off all day. I have a couple notes from reading today. First of all, I called it. I totally called it. Tom Maryland is alive, and Rand just found him at an inn in the Foregate. Before that, I loved the testing chapter with Nynaeve. So well done. And the last test for her was so good. I hated it. It was so good. I felt so bad for her. And I, it also just confirms why she hates Maureen so much. It's not because exactly what she did to Rand and all of them. It's because of Lan. I can't believe Egwene and Elaine met like right when Egwene got to the White Tower. I didn't even think about that happening, but I love that it did. Also, I love that they are going to be friends. I think it's so cute and so sweet. I love that so much. I didn't say this in my review, but I think that Rand is going to marry Elaine. And I thought that from the second that they met in the Eye of the World. I just feel like they're going to get married. They're going to be together in the end. And Min says that she told Elaine that she's going to have to share her husband with like two other women. It's definitely with Egwene and Min. I think Egwene is going to make Rand a warder. I'm not 100% sure about that. But I think that it's going to be Min, Egwene, and Elaine all sharing Rand in not the same way. But Elaine and Rand are going to get married. That's my prediction. I think those are all of the notes that I have right now. Love that Tom Maryland is back, and I love that I freaking called it. I mean, it makes sense. He made it so obvious that that was going to happen, but I just love to see him back again because I did like Tom. So I'm excited to keep reading and see what happens next. Also, the Deus de Mar, like game of houses or whatever it's called, very much is reminding me of like inspiration for the Game of Thrones. Especially the longer Rand is in like Kyrian and gets like forced to like play the game a little bit. Reminds me very much of Game of Thrones. I forgot to talk about two things yesterday when I was giving my update for the Great Hunt. One, I think that the reason that so many, because there are three girls who know Rand in Tar Valon training to be Aes Sedai. And that has to be because he's ta'veren. And that just makes sense. Okay, Min's not training to be an Aes Sedai, but there's three girls who know Rand in Tar Valon who were not there before meeting Rand. Well, 4 if you count Nynaeve, but so I think it's because he's ta'veren that he like shapes their lives too. I think that Celine is Lanfear. I didn't know her name before, the evil lady, until I just read a little bit more. I think that she's her. I don't trust her one single bit. I think that she's evil. Um, and I think there's she knows some weird magic. Oh, I've been highlighting and like dog earing the page on my Kobo of important things like prophecies or stuff that seems important that's like mentioned in passing so that I can have it to look back on when like I am catching stuff like when it comes to play. But I'm hoping all of the stuff that I'm highlighting and everything plays out in this book. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start a journal or something where I write down all of the important things from the book. I'm 57% of the way through The Great Hunt right now. I think I'm going to read for about an hour tonight and then see where I'm at after that. Hello. I knew that Leandrin was bad and that I hated her from the beginning, but I did not realize that she was going to be the frickin' Black Aja. She just sold Egwene. I guess sold might not be the right word, but she gave over Egwene to the Seanchan. And now I'm sitting here hoping that Nynaeve comes and rescues her. But hate Leandrin forever and ever, and I knew I didn't like her from the beginning, and I want that on the record. Nynaeve's gonna save Egwene. Ingtar is a dark friend, and Matt just blew the horn of Valir. I have so many thoughts, but I need to get back to work, so they'll have to wait. Hello? Okay. So I've got a couple things to say.
and I gotta sit where I can see. I just finished The Great Hunt. I have a couple things to say before I talk about like my finished thoughts, and I'm gonna do a whole review video, like a sit down one later. But Matt ringing the horn of Valir, I never would have called that. I mean, I could believe it, like it makes sense. And I would need to go back in the first book and see if Min sees the horn around his head. Like I need to see if that is something that she sees. Because that was wild. I loved that. And them needing the banner to fly or to like follow. Loved. Loved, loved, loved. The last battle with frickin' Balsamon, so good. I feel so bad for Rand's sword. I do wish that the sword like got saved, and I hope that he finds another Heron one. But that sucks. Like that's his dad's sword. I hate that that had to get melted, and it's not even like that was even the last battle. So okay, I know I said literally yesterday, I'm like I'm suspicious of Ingtar, but I don't think he's a dark friend. I wasn't trying to accuse him of being a dark friend, but he's a freaking dark friend. I can't believe he was a dark friend that whole time. I can't believe it. And he was the one who let the archer in, but I don't think he was the one who let all of the Trollocs and stuff in, right? He can't be that bad. I thought that was so wild. I thought that was I was like shook when I read that. I'm like, no, what? I knew he was going to be the one who wasn't coming back. I was not expecting him to be a dark friend. Poor frickin' Ingtar. Is that it? Oh, and I called it. I freaking called it that Selena's Lanfear. I called it from the second I saw her because she was suspicious as she was so suspicious. I called it. I called it. I called it. I called it. I called that Lanfear and Selene were the same person. I don't like her. Obviously, she's a Forsaken. I highlighted a bunch of stuff in the book that I was like, oh, this is going to be important. This is going to be important. And I think I need to just get a little journal or like type out all of the annotations on my phone or something because there's so much. And I feel like some of it, like the prophecies and stuff, that's not all done yet. And I think that we're just going to keep discovering more prophecies and stuff like that. So I need to get a little collection going. I think I'm also going to start using the glossary more in the back of the book. One thing I didn't care for was the amount of like confusing names that were the same. Like Domani, the citizens of Aradoman, and Bail Doman, the ship's captain. All three are similar, way too similar. They all sound the same in the audiobook. Like, can we get some differentiation? Because there's so many characters, there's so much stuff going on as it is. I can't keep track of all the stuff that's the same name, too. So that was my only complaint. Other than that, 10 out of 10. I loved the book. Really quick before I forget, it makes so much sense that Matt is the one, like, was the one to blow the horn of Valir because he didn't care about it literally at all. The whole time that they were on the hunt for it, all he wanted was the dagger. Like, he strapped the horn of Valir to his mount like it was nothing. He dropped it multiple times. Like this dude did not care at all about the horn. So I loved that he was the one that blew it. And I'm glad that he did too because he was the one who didn't really have a lot of like ta'veren stuff going on. Like all he had really was the dagger and I didn't like that that was like his main thing. Like making him be special because like Perrin has the wolf talking and like Rand is obviously the dragon reborn. Like Matt needed something more, and I love that he was the one that like blew the horn, which is kind of scary though because it means he's going to be there at the last battle, and like that makes me a little nervous. But other than that, loved, 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 and I'm so excited to start the next book. I'm like, I'm gonna get comfy in my jammies and I'm gonna go and start the next one like immediately. That is the end of this vlog, I think. The next one I will be starting The Dragon Reborn. So look out for that and my review of The Great Hunt as well. That'll be coming soon.